All right, friends, welcome back. Dr. Lewis here, and today we are going to be working on mastering this standard, which is 4th grade, measurement and data, C, because it's the third of 3 measurement and data standards in 4th grade, and this is the 7th one in the C section. So there's a lot of measurement and data standards, and today this is the one we're working on. So the target that's connected to that standard is this. I can use the addition of adjacent angle measures to solve problems using a symbol for the unknown angle measure. So that was kind of a mouthful. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down some of the confusing vocabulary in here, and that might help us better understand what this target is really talking about. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to define the word adjacent. So I can use the addition of adjacent angle measures. So adjacent literally means next to or connected to. So when we're talking about addition of adjacent angle measures, we're talking about adding angles that are next to or connected to each other. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve a problem using a symbol for the unknown angle measure. So again, this is coming back to something that we talked about before our real remote learning started. We started talking about variables. It's a symbol to represent an unknown. So for example, if I said 2 plus b equals 6, b is a variable because it represents an unknown. And of course, we can work backwards and say, okay, what's 6 minus this 2? That means b equals 4. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be using the addition of those connected angle measures to solve problems using symbols for the unknown angle measure. Let me show you an example. So I'm going to draw a right angle right over here. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this right angle and I'm going to split it into 2 different angles. And doing my best to split it right down the middle. Now, of course, a right angle, we know from our work this week and last week that a right angle is 90 degrees. So if I took a right angle and I split it in half, now, of course, I don't have a protractor, so I'm just winging it. I'm just going by what I see. I'm going to pretend that this is a perfectly split in half angle. 90 split into 2 exact same parts would be 45 degrees and n degrees. These 2 angles are adjacent. They are next to or connected to each other. So instead of having one 90-degree angle, I actually have 2 angles. One is 45 degrees, and this n is another angle that I have to figure out how many degrees this angle is, how far this angle is from its original point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knowledge of right angles. I know that this is 90 degrees, so I'm going to say 90 degrees minus this 45 degrees. That is going to give me this unknown angle. So let's go back to our addition and subtraction strategies. We know that we cannot take 5 from 0 because if I have 0 fingers showing and I ask you to take 5 away, there's nothing to take away. So I'm going to borrow from the tens place. That 90 becomes 80. That 10 goes to the 0, and 0 plus 10 is 10. So now I can say 10 minus 5, you know it's 5. And I don't have to regroup because 1, there's nothing else to regroup over here, but I know that 4 can be taken from 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. So that means that the N angle, N equals 45 degrees. I can check this. I can use the addition of these two adjacent angle measures to solve problems. So check this out. 45 plus 45, 5 plus 5 is 10, 4, 8, 9, booyah, 90 degrees. Let's try another one. I'm going to use the right angle as my helper in this one as well. So make a right angle here. But this one, I'm going to cut it a little bit different. I'm going to have a very different looking set of angles. So this is no longer cut right in half. What I'm going to say is I'm going to say this angle is 60 degrees. And this angle, we'll call it angle B. B angle is our unknown. We don't know how many degrees this is yet. I challenge you to pause this video and use the strategy I just taught to figure out how many degrees this angle is measured. All right, so there are several strategies we can use. We can say 60 degrees plus B degrees equals 90 degrees. That's using the addition of adjacent angle measures to figure out the unknowns. So how are we going to figure this out? We can use our subtraction strategy. We can say 90 minus 60, or you can count up by tens, 60, 70, 80, 90. How many tens did I just count by? That was 3 tens, and you know that that's correct because 90 minus 60 is 30, so that means B is 30 degrees. Nice. So when you're working on your Zearn lesson this week, remember, you're using the addition of adjacent angle measures to solve problems using a symbol for the unknown angle measure. And we just did that here. So in your Zearn work today, I know you're going to do an excellent job. I can't wait to see what you do. Good luck. Bye.